Hi everyone, this is Longvo. Today I'm analyzing one of my games played on March the 13th, 2012. I'm playing white and I'm currently rated 0 and my opponent James Lehman is rated 1448. So I open with e4 and he goes e5. This is actually my first King's Gambit with f4, and it's a pretty gutsy move because I have, I know a little bit about it, but I haven't studied it carefully, or I don't really know all the variations. So he takes e takes f, knight to f3. So then he goes bishop to e7. So at this point, I was really surprised because I didn't know this variation, and obviously I could see the idea of delivering check here, and then if I take, then the queen takes, and then I can't castle afterwards, right? Because the pawn here is controlling the g3 square. So I lost a lot of time thinking about it, and I just decided, you know what, let's just keep going, and I'll lose the ability to castle. So I go bishop to c4. So he goes bishop to h4. So of course there are some possible moves such as king to f1, and then this bishop here is under attack. So he can't really develop his knight later on, or else I can simply take the bishop. And then it just puts his bishop in a really awkward position. Or he could simply retreat with the fact that now he destroyed my chances of castling, and then maybe redirecting the bishop later. So anyways, that was one possibility, but I decided to take. So knight takes h4, queen takes h4 check, king to f1, and d6. So now he's opening up the diagonal for the bishop, and I go d3, doing the same thing, opening the diagonal for my bishop and attacking that f4 pawn. So knight to h6. So I think here he could have gone to f6 with the idea that eventually he could move the knight. But going to h6, I think that he didn't want to block off the f pawn here, because my king can no longer castle. I think it would be in his interest to try to perhaps open the center eventually. So I think that's why he went knight to h6. So queen to f3, attacking the f4 pawn. So he goes g5. So now, so for sure he's not going to castle kingside, but he's which makes sense because I can't castle anymore, so he can still have the option to go queenside. So I think he's trying to redirect his all his pieces towards my king side. Now g3, attacking the queen and putting pressure on the f pawn here. So at this point I don't really know what to do, and it's just trial and error. And I thought, I guess that's an okay move, and it's not a bad move, I think. So queen to h3 check. So perhaps it was a bad move because I'm weakening the king side further. But you know, I want to open it up, because now how else am I gonna develop the rook? So king to e1. The reason is because if I went king to e2, trying to keep the first rank open to eventually connect the rooks, that gives the bishop the opportunity to pin the queen. And I could have gone to f2 as well, but then he could also attack the queen. But at least, you know, she's not pinned, and the only move is to offer an exchange here. So anyways, I decided to go king to e1 and bishop to g4, attacking the queen. So this is not looking very good for me because once the queen moves, this diagonal here is taken. My bishop is really going to have a hard time developing. The rook here is not very well positioned, and same thing over here, the queen side is underdeveloped. So queen to f2, knight to d7 with the idea of perhaps you know, advancing the knight towards the king side. So g takes f. So this is starting to open up this area here. And bishop to f3, attacking the rook, which is okay. Rook to g1. So now it's looking a little bit better for me. So my rook is on a semi-open file. It found a way to be more active. I'm gonna win back this pawn here. So he tries to keep the position close with g4, and I do a rook lift here with rook to g3, attacking the queen. So queen to h5 and h3. I'm not sure if this is a good move because I think there's no need to keep attacking and keep opening this area here. I think it would make more sense for me to perhaps start to develop here, or maybe you know, even this move opens up the diagonal here, or even, yeah, I guess those would have been better moves, but I guess this would block off the dark squared bishop. So after h3 he goes c5. So I'm not sure I understand that move, and it seems to not really have anything to do with the king side, so I don't know if it's prophylactic, and I had no intention of going here anyways, or maybe he's just trying to close the diagonal and really trap all my pieces in here. So now I go f5, opening the diagonal for the dark squared bishop. So he castles queenside. So same thing, right? Like, why did he move here, weakening the queen side? So I don't know. But anyways, bishop takes h6 with the idea of removing the defender of g4 here. Queen takes h6. So at this point, I didn't really see the threat, the checkmate threat here. So I did take h takes g, and then he checkmated me. But then, so you know, so that's it. That's the game. So now going back here, a possibility of other moves could have been queen to d2, and then queen to h4, attacking the rook, queen to f2, queen to g5, still threatening checkmate, and then, then start to develop some pieces here with knight to d2, attacking the light squared bishop. Knight to e5, then knight takes f3, knight takes f3 check, king to f1, then retreating the knight to e5, attacking the light squared bishop. Then I would probably take h takes g4, knight takes g4, attacking the queen. Then bishop takes f7, h5, defending the knight, queen to g2, queen to f4 check, king to g1, and at this point it's not too bad. So still he can exert more pressure, but it's not lost, right? So I don't think I played too bad. It was a rookie mistake, but it's my first King's Gambit, and I was pretty nervous during the whole match, and it was really exciting for me. So I was like, did I make a mistake playing it? But I don't regret it because I learned a lot from it, different variations, and also it just kept me on my toes the whole match.